I am here with Kobe Dennis, and Kobe Dennis is really one of the principal Providence community leaders, and he also runs a program for the city's youth called Project Night Vision, an invaluable program in the city. As part of his stature and status in the city, many people, young adults and adults, come to him for advice and counsel and answers to questions. And today we're going to be talking about healthcare a little bit. And the first question is, Kobe, there is some new major federal legislation as it relates to healthcare. You know, it's been called Obamacare, but it becomes effective January 1st, 2014. And are you aware of this, and is the community talking to you about it?
Well, first of all, during the election, I believe Obamacare was very popular, and many of the people were probably aware of it, but as of right now, I can guarantee you it's not at the forefront of the issues on the table for inner city young people or even their parents. So I would say, yes, I am slightly familiar with it, but the people that I serve, definitely not.
Okay, that being said, as we get closer, where would you or they go for information? What resources would they turn to?
Sure. As far as myself, I would go to my primary health care provider. Many of the people that I serve, being on DHS or assisted health care, I'm not really sure where they would go to, but I would hope they could go to their healthcare provider as well. But I know for sure a lot of them will come to me, and I will try to learn as much as I can about them.
Do you have concerns?
I have plenty of concerns, because I believe with the disparities in the inner city communities, the health disparities, it's going to be tough. And I think a lot of the people do not know where to go for this issue. They don't know where to turn. So this is going to be.
In thinking about it, are many of the constituents that you come into contact with, are they uninsured now?
I would say probably, yeah, I would say the majority uninsured. Mm-hmm. And if they are insured, sadly, it is through the state.
Mm-hmm. So the fact that they will now be asked, even working people, but who may also be at a lower income level, will be asked to buy health care, to get health care for themselves. How do you think that will go over? What kind of reaction do you think that there will be in that community?
I compare this to the mandatory insurance issue, car insurance issue. It's the same. There will be many people out there that will not have insurance, even more, and so because they will not get it. There will be many people that start to prey on the poor, and there'll be I can foresee it now. There'll be all types of schemes and scams that these people have to watch out for. So
your concerns are what going forward?
The people, the people that are not knowledgeable about the situation being taken advantage of, and I believe that they're going to be a step behind.
Any advice for the state or other stakeholders?
I would love to have informational sessions in the city areas, maybe even at the schools. Besides putting out pamphlets, I think going around talking to people about it would be great. Mailings would be great, but definitely into the schools, and even during the summer, right now it's coming upon us, summertime informational sessions would be great.
I'm here with the Reverend David Rodriguez. He is really a faith leader in the community, has his own congregation. It's the Hispanic Ministerial Association.
The president of
yes, the president of that. Mm-hmm. Really a great resource to that community, and he's agreed to talk to us today about healthcare and the changes in healthcare coming down the line. So, Reverend, are you aware of the new federal healthcare legislation that takes effect soon?
Well, like in general, I can say I'm aware of the changes that are coming, but I believe in details. I don't think I have all the details. Okay. In general, I know that there is a lot of things going on and a lot of changes, but with details, I don't think I'm an expert or I really well informed of every detail.
Well, I assume, and correct me if I'm wrong, that there has been some discussion, some concern, questions that are coming to you, and what do you tell them now?
Well, right now, the people come with concern, and what we're trying to do is refer them to some, people that are related with the field, the health field and things like that. But right now, there is a lot of concern for us in the community, and there is a lot of question that we don't have, or I believe that the community doesn't have the right answer or the answer that they're looking for, and some of them, I believe. Talking about my community, our community, they don't realize what is happening.
Okay.
They know there is, the Obamacare, there is a change is coming, but I believe most of the people, they not really informed like what are gonna be those changes and how those changes gonna affect them.
Right. One of the things you were talking about was the aspect of this that's mandatory, and you felt that was an issue.
Yeah, that's an issue because we have a lot of people that they might be naive to really get it or afford it, and that's an issue in our community when we have a lot of people, with low income and struggling to really pay their bills, the regular stuff to eat, to pay the rent, and of course that's a concern that some people are having in our community. Yes.
So that being the case, and there not being a lot of information in your opinion, where would you as a leader go to get that information? Who would you rely upon or depend upon to help you get information that you need to pass along?
Okay. Well, as I mentioned before, there is some people that work in a health community that sometimes we bind them to talk to other people in the radio programs and things like that. But I believe that maybe we didn't do like a good job until now to really bring the expert on that, and I believe now that it's closer to the day of the changes, maybe we will be more kind of pushing the agenda to bring information, and it's a really a great question, and I believe that we need those resources, to see who can really give us more information related to that, and I believe that's something that's a community we need right now. That's this reality. It's not that I don't think that in our community we are talking too much about it. The everyday life stuff. Keep all the priorities. Right. But I believe that now that we're talking about it, we need more resources. We need to be more informed and see what is it that the real changes that really going to happen.
Somebody mentioned, I believe it was Sal Montero, he mentioned that it might be useful to have community forums about this. Are you in agreement? I'm
in agreement 100%. And we have all the ways to communicate with the community, like you have a 24/7 Spanish radio station. We got 3, but in our faith community we have one radio, and I believe the community forums and all the type of information could be brochures, could be all the things that they can have some type of information about it will be great. But I think it's a need in our community now that we're talking about it.
Yeah. Any suggestions that you think that the state might listen to about this?
Well, I believe that yes, I believe that we should. My recommendation will be that we educate our people the best that we can, and we willing to gather the people, because our organization represent more than 40 churches. That's around like 10,000 people that go to church, but each of those people have an average of 3 or 5 or more people.
A wider network.
A big network. And I believe that are we willing to help gathering the people, using our buildings for forums, public forums and things like that, and our radio station, and we can help on that if we can have the expert on the field that can be available for us to bring our information. If translation is needed, we can provide all that also. Is
there any fear?
Well, I believe in few people that really are concerned of that, because some people, as I mentioned, maybe they're not realizing what is going on, what's going to happen. But some of the people that are concerned, I think the fear is, of course, not be able to take care of themselves in their health, and stay in the limbo, and that's the fear right there. And I believe that's a great concern in our community, and we hope that we can have the information available. I think I like this conversation because I realize we need more information.
I'm here with Mr. Cedric Huntley, and around here at the Met, which is the Metropolitan Regional Career and Technical Center, actually. He is one of the directors, and he's also a community leader in the city of Providence. A lot of people really rely on him for counsel and advice. And today we're talking to Mr. Cedric about healthcare. And are you familiar with and aware of the new changes in the federal laws that will need to be implemented on January 1st?
Yes, I've read up on them. It's over 1,000 pages, so I know could be intimidating for many people, but I am aware. They call it Obamacare, but it's a healthcare reform.
Mm-hmm. And are you aware of the concept of the options that will be available?
Not all the options, but I know that there's over 100 million people without health care insurance, and about 40 million people are impacted that really can't really afford health care insurance. And so I'm not familiar with all aspects of it, but I know that it's mandated, and as of January of 2014, that everyone should have health insurance. And I know that there's a tax on it if you don't have, or you'll be penalized if you don't have health insurance. So all employees or anyone has to.
So how prevalent or pervasive is the issue of not being aware of all the ins and outs here in your community?
Very, very prevalent. I think a majority of the residents in the community don't understand it and don't know how it will impact them, or whether that's positively or negatively impact them. And I think that we have to have a better understanding of what it really means for that average person, that person that's in the community that works, that may work hard every day, may have a family, may not be able to afford health care, or it may not be provided. So I think it's very prevalent.
Yeah. So in your case, Cedric, who would you go to? How would you go about learning more about this? What could be useful to you?
Well, I think there's some local organizations that probably could spearhead informational forums on it. But for me, I go to the internet, I go to Google, I Google it up, and it's a lot of information. It's a great deal of information that could be intimidating for the average person to try to decipher what's important to them. So,
how successful do you think it could be here in terms of getting people to get covered?
I don't think I can speak on how successful it is, but I think it depends on the aggressiveness of a campaign. People gathering people at forums and giving them the information, correct information, real information that can help their families, so they can have insurance, so they can, if something happens, they can get care.
Yeah. How big is the healthcare problem in the community that you serve?
Well, as an African American, I can tell you that, most African American men, it's quite clear that they don't really like going to the doctors, and sometimes it's too late. So I think having having more of an awareness that you should get care and go to the doctors on a regular basis is very important. But on the whole, I think a lot of people walk around without any health care. I've talked to many people who, you know, all you can do is advise them to go to the emergency room, which they have to get care if they need that care. But many people walk around with no insurance at all, no health insurance at all.
Any final comments? Anything else you want to impart?
Just that we have to be more informed, and we have to seek people to get that information and make the best possible decisions for our families concerning the health care initiatives that are coming up.